today's lesson, we are going to look at the navigation bar with drop-down, something like this, whereby if you can hover to home, about us, you come to products and services, you see a drop-down navigation, you see a drop-down menu. So we are going to create something like this so that now when you are doing your project, you can be able to create your own drop-down menus with CSS. So let's begin. So let me start by creating a new HTML file. Right click on your project, select new HTML file. So the file name, I can call this drop-down nav. Drop-down nav. Then I press enter. So here we have our drop-down nav.html. So this one you can call it navbar with drop-down. So you press enter. The next step, we are going to now create a CSS which you're going to link to this file. So I can call this, create new style sheet in our CSS. So this one I can call this, let me call it nav drop. I press enter. So we have our navdrop.css. So we come and attach our style sheet here. So here we'll come and say link rel, that is style sheet, href, that will be css / navdrop.css. So the next thing, now that you have created those two files, the next thing we'll go back to our HTML and create a UL with a list of links. So start by typing UL, you tab and enter. So this UL, let me collapse that. So this UL, you're going to create a list item with an anchor tag. So I'll put that so that it's a broken link, but you can substitute this with your own pages if you are doing a real website. So we can have home and duplicate this, Control D several times. So I call this about us. Can come here, can have products and services. You can call these frequently asked questions. We can call these gallery. We can call this career opportunities, and I call these contact us. So if I run this, it will just be a normal HTML file with your list of items. You can see it's just as a normal list of items. So this UL, we are going to give it a class. We call this drop down. We can call this I can call this top nav. I can call it top nav, and then this list item, we give it a class. Let's call this list item, and then we give this href a class by the name item. So we can have this, we copy and paste it in the other list items like that. Then we can have our class item and copy, including that space, copy, come and paste there, 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 and there. So there we are. So the next thing that you're going to do, I want us to put sub items under products and services. So what you're going to do in this list item for products and services, I'll press enter. So we can have our anchor tag there. Then we can have these and press enter there. So ahref, this one, we are going to use JavaScript void 0 so that it can create the drop down. So we'll say JavaScript, then you put a full colon, you say void 0 like that, and then class, we are going to give it item, and also we are going to add another class name. We call it drop btn. You can use drop btn, and then we have that. So below that we are going to create a div class called dropdown content. So we'll say dot dropdown dash content. So we tab and enter. So inside that div, we are going to create an anchor tag. So we type a tab href, that's hash. We are going to give it a class. I can call this sub item, so that they don't conflict with the others when you are creating within the body. So I can have here computers and computer accessories. We can duplicate this. We can duplicate it like 7 times. So I call this computer maintenance. Then you can have computer networking. You can have CCTV installation. We can have VSAT installation. We can also have graphic design. We can have web design, and then we can call these software and app development. So if we run this, you will discover that now under products and services we have these items that are down here, but they are being arranged horizontally. So now that we have our UL with our list of items with the drop downs, the next thing that you're going to do, we are now going to add the CSS. So the first thing that you're going to start with, I'll start by styling this UL. Remember, this UL has got a class called topnav. So I'll say dot topnav. So we open that. So here we'll come and say list style type. I say none. So that means that it will remove the bullets. Like that. Also, we have margin 0 and padding 0. Margin 0 and padding 0 will place these list items at the edge, so it will clear this spacing. So if you refresh, that's what you're going to have. And also we are going to have overflow hidden, and also we'll give it a background color. We can give it a dark red like that. So if we come and refresh, you can see that you have your items, but notice that we have our spacing here. So to clear this spacing, we'll just come before the top nav. Before the top nav, I'll come and start with body. So we start with the body, we open that, so we say margin 0 and padding 0. So if we come and refresh our page now, this space now should be cleared out. So there we are. So now the next thing that we are going to do, we are now going to style the list items. We are going to style the list items. The list items, take note, they have a class by the name list item. So in this case, I'll come and say dot list item. So in this case, we'll have a float left. So float left, it will make your list items to be arranged horizontally instead of vertically. And also we have what we call border right. Border right, I can say 1 pixel solid. I can give it a color like white. So if I come and refresh my page here, you will see now that your list items have borders. They have actually a border divider. This is what we call a border divider. The next thing that you're going to do, we are now going to style the list items and the anchor tags. Remember that our list item, it's a class called list item. Our anchor tag, it has a class by the name item. So here we'll come and say dot list item space dot item. So this dot item will come and say display. I'll say inline block, display inline block. I'll give it a color white. Then we have text align center. Then we'll have padding. We can give it 14px, 16px, and also the text decoration, those are for the links, I'll use none. So if I come and refresh my page here, you can see now that your items are being arranged like that. We can give it a nice font family. You can use sans serif, and then I can set a size, that is a font size of let's say 16px. So if I come and refresh my page, now you can see your list of items are being arranged like that. So now the other thing that we are going to do, we have this class called dropbtn. Dropbtn, this is for the anchor tag. So here it's list item anchor tag, and then we are going to append here. You put a comma and then you say dot dropbtn like that. So if I come and refresh there, now your list of items will be arranged like that. Now the next thing we are going to do, we are going to put a hover effect. So here we'll come and say list item anchor tag hover, and then dot drop down hover. So here we'll come and say dot list item, and then for the anchor tag is item. This is a dot item, and then you put a full colon hover. So we are putting a hover effect, and then put a comma, then you say dot drop down. So you say dot drop down, and then you put a full colon hover, and then you say space dot drop btn. So drop down hover Drop down is this the list item for the drop down, and then we have drop btn, that's for the anchor tag that is holding the drop down, and then we have this drop down that has now the list item. So I'll open a curly brace like that. So here I'll give it a background color. So maybe you can use a background color of you can use red or even any other color of my choice. So if I come and refresh, you try to hover, you can see it's hovering everywhere. So remember that we haven't styled the sub items yet, we are heading there. So the next thing you're going to do, you're now going to style the list items dot drop down. So dot drop down, so that's li, so it has a class. So this is a list item, and then we are going to have a class called drop down. So we'll create a class called drop down like that. So here we'll come and say li dot drop down, li dot drop down. So for the drop down, we'll have a display. So we'll say inline block. So let's refresh and see whether there will be any change. Not yet, we're still getting there. So the next thing you're going to do is you're styling the dot drop down content, that is the div for the drop down items. So here we'll come and say dot drop down content. So you open that. So here we'll come and say display none. Then we have position absolute. Then we have a background. So the background we can use dark red. I can use the dark red. And then we have the mean width. The mean width we can give it 160 px. Also we have the box shadow. If you want any box shadow you can put, but let me just do a z index 1. So if I come and refresh that, you'll notice now that my divs will be hidden. So let's proceed and add more coding. So here we have our div class. It's called the drop down content, and then our class is sub item. For the anchor tags is sub items. So here we'll come and say dot drop down content space dot sub item. Open that. So that's for the anchor tags that are inside the divs. So we'll give a text color. We can use dark red. Okay, or I can use white. Text color I can use white because the background is dark red. And then we have the padding, which is 12 px 16 px. We also have the text decoration, that is none. Also we have the display, we have block. Also we have text align. You can either use left, I can work with center. We see how it will look like. Also we can give it a nice font family. We can say sans serif, and also we can give it a size, a font size of 16 px. So if we come and refresh, you will discover that still my drop down items will not be displayed. So let's move on and add more coding for it to be displayed. So here we have dot drop down content space dot sub item, and then put a full colon hover. So for the hover effect, we'll give it a background color. So we can give it this, maybe F1, and then we can give a text color of maybe dark red. That can work. So if we refresh, you'll notice that it's still not displayed. So there is one more block of code now that will display everything. So here we have dot drop down. So we have dot drop down. Here you come and put a full colon hover, and then space dot drop down dot drop down content. So we are using that. So here we say display block. So if I refresh my page here, then you hover, now you can see that my items will be displayed. So this doesn't look good centered, so let's change the text align to left, so that when you refresh and hover again, you can see my items are well arranged at the left side. So that is how you create a navigation bar with a drop down. So in our next lesson, where we are going to start Bootstrap, there is a topic where we'll cover the navigation bar, but now the navigation bar will be responsive. Otherwise, thank you very much and see you in the next lesson.